Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to X-Men Legends here in the Retro Corner on the Corky's World channel. I'm Corky, as always, and we're back. So let's talk to Professor X.
Once you're done with...
Lead the way, Alice.
Oh, well.
Hello, Allison.
Why was I brought here?
You were brought here for your own protection. The people who attacked you in New York City were members of the Brotherhood of Mutants.
Can't believe Patrick Stewart, man. That's amazing. He is
So they could come
the
after
best.
me again?
Perhaps. Which is why it would be best for you to stay at the mansion. At least until we determine exactly why the Brotherhood attempted to kidnap you.
Are you the leader of the X-Men?
I prefer
Oh,
to say
Susie Carmichael.
their mentor.
I was pretty sure that's who that was, but I didn't want to say it and then be completely wrong.
Them together, right?
Yes. I started with Cyclops and several others. As time passed, I found more mutants who were capable of handling
being
the
an X-Man.
responsibilities of being an X-Man.
Who's the Brotherhood?
The Brotherhood is an unruly collection of mutants who consider themselves above humanity. They operate outside the law and use their abilities to further their misguided desires.
Well, what do they want?
They've labeled themselves Homo Superior and believe they will inherit...
Working too hard, give you a heart attack, you ought to know by now. Okay.
I'd like Jean to show me around.
It would be my pleasure. As you move from room to room, I'll give you a little information on the X.
Once you're done with G...
Lead the way, Alice.
Alright, so now we're going to walk around. There are many wonders to be found in the X-Mansion. Feel free to explore everything that the mansion has to offer. Here you can access movies, view comic covers, or visit the Danger Room to practice your fighting techniques. I believe,
Xavier Institute, Allison.
This place is huge.
Professor Sanford called me a functional illiterate.
Xavier Institute, a school where mutants learn to control their abilities, as well as discovering more about themselves and their place in the world.
School for mutants? I didn't know there was such a thing.
The fact that the students are mutants is kept secret for everyone.
This episode is going to be all dialogue.
The mansion is also home to the X-Men.
Bet.
I've heard of the X-Men. What room is this?
The library is one of the most popular rooms in the house. There's a wide variety of literature here, from Shakespeare to comic books. It's an interesting mishmash of styles, kind of like the X-Men.
Who are you?
My name is Jean Grey, and I've been an X-Man most of my life.
Today, in New York City, were you talking to people with your thoughts?
Yes, my mutant abilities deal with telepathy and telekinesis.
You're a mutant?
One
Yes,
thing
I am.
leads to another thing, leads to another thing.
Someone around here who isn't.
I didn't think there were many people like me.
Our numbers are growing, and it's nothing to be ashamed of, Allison. Even though there are a few people who would like you to be.
You're telepathic?
I have the ability to read minds and communicate mentally.
As well as numerous other things.
Good stuff with your thoughts, right?
Exactly. I've grown quite powerful at it over the years, but I doubt I'll ever master it.
Thanks for the info.
Here I can review comics. I've got this one. All right, I've got that one. I thought she was going to go. This is the hallway.
This is the sitting room. It's a great place to kick back and relax. Needless to say, this room doesn't get a lot of use by the X-Men.
I don't remember if this is the part of the game where you meet other X-Men or if that comes later.
This is the day room. It's beautiful, isn't it? There are times I find it hard to believe there's a
Because there's a part where you...
level beneath.
It might be the next one. There's a part where you move around the...
Ground level?
Oh yes, but I'll leave.
Yeah,
part of it to it.
He already told us about the sub-basement. But there's a part where Yeah, okay. Doesn't seem proportionate. There's a part of the game where you walk around and all the X-Men are hanging out in the different rooms and you gotta go talk to them. And they're like, here's the little backstory.
I can't picture any of the X-Men actually cooking a meal.
You haven't lived till you've tasted Pete's barbecue or Betsy's Cornish hen.
Is she calling Colossus Pete? And which one's Betsy? Is Jubilee Betsy?
This is the first floor elevator. From here you can go to the second floor or the sub-basement.
I'll skip it for now. In an old house like this, I bet it's just full of cobwebs.
You'd think that, wouldn't you?
X Mansion dormitories. The loading bumpers for this are great.
The mansion has bedrooms for many of the X-Men. Feel free to wander around and look in the rooms. This is the second floor elevator.
Ugh. That was unnecessary.
This room belongs to Scott Summers. You met him in New York, the guy with the optic blasts. He was the very first X-Man, and he's the team leader.
Oh yeah, I remember him. He's kinda cute.
And he's kinda spoken for.
Oh, I didn't mean to.
I'm just teasing, Allison. Scott and I have been together forever.
So this is still the universe, because right now in the X-Men comics, Who's with Everybody is so jumbled up, and they've mixed and mashed up everyone's everything, and it's just...
I've lived here off and on since I was a teenager. The X-Mansion
It's just all over the
is
place.
the only real home I've ever known. This is your room, Allison. If you want it. I bet you'd find the mansion a great place to learn about your abilities.
I'm not sure if I want to learn about them. After what happened in New York.
Seems such a waste of time.
But Allison, if you don't learn to control your abilities now...
Coffee's getting cold.
far more damage later on.
That's usually a sign of whether or not I need to move on to a different game.
Still, I don't know.
I don't know. This is so fun, though.
Did you have a question, Allison?
No.
Thanks. I'll ask again if I need more info.
This is Hank McCoy's room. We call him Beast, but not as an insult. You'll find out why when you meet him. To look at him, you'd never guess he was such a bookworm.
We love old Hank. That's where I can review load screens. You like apples? How about them apples?
This is Rogue's room. You'll like her. She's a bit of a wild child.
She tends to get into trouble.
Well, Rogue did a few questionable things before joining the X-Men, but she's proven herself to be an invaluable member of our team.
If you don't mind me asking, what can she do?
It's a bit complicated, but her power deals with direct skin contact, which is why she always wears gloves.
Rogue is one of those X-Men, in my opinion, that, depending on who's writing her, is either awesome or terrible.
Her mutant abilities allow her to control the weather, which comes in handy with her favorite pastime, gardening.
Aurora. What a pretty name.
Her code name is Storm. She takes over as leader of the X-Men if Scott Summers isn't around. Bobby Drake stays here. His code name is Iceman.
Let me guess. He makes ice.
He can freeze almost any object instantly. I'd keep an eye on him if I were you. He's a real charmer.
It's a real charmer, which I want to say in the current universe, Bobby Drake is a homosexual. And I know in some universes they did the same thing with Kurt Wagner, the Nightcrawler, and some Peter Rasputin Colossuses as well.
This room belongs to the ultimate man of mystery, Wolverine. Although he's a bit rough around the edges, Wolvie's the best friend you could ever want, and the worst enemy.
So it's weird to go back and see him as being, you know, a real ladies' man, and here you can play a trivia game. But I don't want to do that. All right, we're done.
I'm done with the tour.
If you're done with the tour, go back.
Thanks.
I thought me saying I'm done with the tour would have taken me back to Professor Xavier, but I suppose not. I'm gonna go back downstairs. Back in here. All right, guys, that wraps up this episode. Like I said, all dialogue, but a fun little tour of the X-Mansion for sure. So, guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for liking, commenting, subscribing if you did. I think I'm going to move on to another game, not because this isn't fun or anything, but because I just got so many things I want to film. We can leave this at a 5 spot, and if you guys at home want this to keep going, I'll leave this continue at 5 continues. This could be very fun. We'll if it does continue, though, we'll pull it out of Retro Corner, and it'll be its own standalone series, which will be first on the Corky's World channel. So we'll see what happens. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for liking, commenting, and subscribing if you did. Always, always, always remember to be good to yourself, be good to each other, and I will see you in the next episode. Later days.